All right, guys. Well, I want to be respectful of everybody's time, so if anybody needs to leave, I'm trying to take about 10, 15 minutes of your time. But if you need to leave now, I know Ron said he has a call he has need to go to, so I guess feel free. I want to give you a little bit of background on BC Kitchens and Bath. They're a company that was established in 2004 by a couple of female entrepreneurs. One of them has more of a background in the design. The other one is doing more things online. And she's from LA, so she's got real big ideas, but trying to really kind of focus them down, see what we can do locally to help them out in bringing more customers to their business. They're doing about 2 or 3 people per week. We'd like to increase that to 4 to 6, and then we'd like to show them how to do that. So what I would do if I was there to present to them is I would basically start with kind of an idea of, let's time myself real quick here. What I would do is I would tell them first why I'm there, what I'm there to establish. I always try to start with a process, a purpose, and a payoff for them. So like when you go to the doctor's office and you go to get something in your back and they tell you, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put your hands here. I'm going to put the needle here. This is how it's going to work. It helps alleviate some of the problems of them sitting there while you're sitting there speaking to them and telling them about the whole thing, because they're busy people and they don't have a whole lot of time. So basically I'm going to go through the presentation. This is BC Kitchens. What we learned about them. What we learned about them is that they a locally owned store here. They do focusing mostly on kitchens and bath. They do have a little bit of lower end products, but they have a middle product that's very comparable to other companies with similar to their industry. Their primary customers are DIY homeowners, but they do have some contractors. Their strongest sales are April through to September. So that's pretty much, Memorial Day through Labor Day, and then they kick up again in October through November. People getting ready for the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holiday, folks coming over. They are a user-friendly website that you can go there and you can almost completely design your kitchen. If you bring in the layout, they will actually tell you how much it's going to cost. It's all based on the slabs, the sizes, things like that. They can kind of give you an idea of what pricing you're going to be paying for your project that you're undertaking. The average customer is worth around $2,500. I think that's probably a little low for the contractors, but for mostly the people coming in, maybe doing an outdoor kitchen or a bath or something like that, they could do $2,500 and get away with it. Kitchens are going to be a little bit higher, indoor kitchens, obviously, but that's where they said that their average customer was worth to them. Finding reliable employees has been a very difficult process for these folks. They do work with the Asian community. They are both Asian. If anybody knows anything about contracting and construction, the Asian community is very high on putting their materials in and the quality of work that they do and their craftsmanship. The issue is a lot of them are not around the New Orleans area. We don't have a large Asian population, although it is concentrated in certain areas on the West Bank, and also in the east. There's a large population there. But I find that a lot of those guys will work for other industries rather than this. So they've been bringing people in from Houston, Atlanta, LA, since they have those connections there. But keeping those employees there and keeping them fed and keeping them working has been the process that they've been working on. Average goal, as I mentioned earlier, right now is 2 to 3 per week customers. They'd like to get to 4 to 6. So industry information that we brought to them. And I'm trying to do this the best I can in front of a group, so it's not going to be, I'll probably get more into, if I was speaking with the customer as I get a little farther into the presentation, but I want to give you a little bit more background of what we were able to come up with. And I want to thank Sonia and Steve Dees and Fanny for helping bring this information to the front, because I think it's some good stuff here that we have here. We found out that there's opportunity in the market because those who recently purchased a home, almost 30% of them plan on doing a kitchen renovation. If anybody's ever had a spouse and you walked into a new place, one of the first couple things that you want to look at, obviously people heard and know, the kitchen and the bath is where you're going to get your largest return on your money. So when you purchase a home, they're saying that with the research that Sonia has been able to find, said 30% of kitchen renovations, or 30% of recent home buyers are going to be doing kitchen renovations. So we want to focus on that when we talk about their schedule and what they're creative and what we're doing moving forward with them. Homeowners are also increasingly interested in doing DIY projects. Everything that we see on HDTV, you hear talk about it. If you talk to a few people by the water cooler, I'm sure some of them are doing work in their house. Probably a couple months ago was the peak of it during the springtime, but it continues on through the summertime and into September, according to what the information that they said, and also information we found through research. Big box competitors continue to be a challenge for these folks. Obviously, you know, the box stores, it's easy place for you to go there and get things really cheap, done fast, done quick. They may not think of them first and top of mind, but we're about to put together something that hopefully will bring that to the forefront. Again, finding qualified employees was another difficult challenge. Industry stats. 26% of renovations are driven by recent home purchases, and the average spend is $30,000, almost $30,000 that they're spending on their homes when they move into them. So you move into a home, you get a great deal on it. You know, you pay the realtor, you pay all your fees, you pay all your closing. You're already incorporating in your head, well, hey, I'm going to put new paint, new floors, new kitchen, new bath. This is saying that 26%, which the other slide was 28. So it's around 20-some percent or 30% of the folks that are purchasing a new home are going to put in $30,000 worth of work to it, and probably going to put it into their kitchen and bath, at least their kitchen, by 40%. Average home improvement shoppers spend about 3 months researching. So this is important because before, you know, especially when you bought a car, you just drove up and down and went to all the different lots. Now people don't do that. The showroom floor is your website. And then secondly, if you actually have a brick and mortar store, people are maybe coming in there. But they're taking 3 months of research first before they go and make that purchase and decision on that kitchen. They're probably talking to other friends and family that have kitchens, that have certain things, what they want, what they don't want, looking through magazines, maybe looking online, doing a lot of research online to figure out what is going to be best fit for their new home. Because our home, we get emotionally attached to that. We want it to be the perfect, we want it to be the best, and we want to show off for the Joneses, right? When people come over and say, hey, look, this is what I did. Survey of homeowners found 50% almost would rather renovate than buy a perfect home. There again, folks want to do this themselves. These guys can help accommodate that. Next slide. Shifts in media habits. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the media habits, and talking to them, I'm going to start talking to them about how digital has increased time spent on the internet from 147% to 187%. But the newspaper, down, 64, 56, 17. They were doing a lot of radio. Why? Well, they were actually following which isn't bad, they were following the guidelines or guidance from a local po' boy shop that's in the same shopping center as them. And I had to point out to them that you're basing your media buying off a guy that's selling po' boys and you're selling cabinets. There should be a difference in where there's a between $8 to $8,000. There's a difference. 74% research products online, and 50% discover new brands on your mobile device. Next. Fox 8's desktop. This is going to be where we would make the recommendation of where we would be placing them at on the desktop and mobile ads. You see the desktop there. Obviously, the tablet, you would be located here, and on your mobile, you'd be here. We saw earlier how many people, 50%, are finding out about new brands right here, because a lot of people, when we live in a community such as New Orleans or anywhere else around the country or anywhere else around the world, there's like, what, 1 billion of these out there? That's where people are going to find out about maybe their only source of internet, I guess is my point that I make. 70% of the population here in the New Orleans community, 50% is below economic standards. So they may not be able to afford the laptop, the iPad, but they're definitely going to have a phone in their hand. And sometimes they can get them for free. Next. Fox 8. How do we hit our users? What do we bring to you? When I walk in through the door, I bring you over 640,000 households, 1.2 million people. Those people that have the opportunity to watch our station, 63% of those people that are watching are Fox 8's digital audience, also watch us on Fox 8 every week. The other percentage that watch our station, 37% will just catch us digitally. Because people are coming to us for news, weather, sports, information, traffic, things that are breaking, things that are going on, whether it's the monuments, whether it's an attack in another country, whether it's something going on here. They're coming to us here, and they're coming to us online and on air. Targeted email. This is a great opportunity for you to go out and reach consumers, because the information that we found says 57% of email subscribers spend almost an hour a week browsing through emails. I don't know who those folks are, but I would love to have that much time to browse through emails. I could barely read the emails I get now. Okay, 92% of adults using email, with 61% of them using it on an average daily. So basically, 90% of us get emails. I mean, my grandmother is 88 years old and she gets emails. We call her Cyber Granny. You know, she's on Facebook. So it's not just the younger generation that are doing that, and especially with Facebook, also another portion of the digital media that's out there. But with emails, most of the time now, people don't even exchange business cards. They just say, hey, can you give me your email address and send me your contact information? They usually send it to you by the phone, or you get the email, and that's the way we communicate. It's on our time, right? Because we're all so busy. What I'm going to do with this email blast that I send out to 50,000, I believe, opt-in users for you, I'm going to guarantee you a 15% open rate of that 50,000 people that go out there. So what is that math, Andy?
7,500.
7,500. If I can get 7,500 people to open up an email, and of those 7,500 of those people, maybe read the email, go to your site, see an ad, see an offer, how many of those people do you think you could sell? Right? That's what I would pitch to you. Give me that chance, give me that opportunity to show you the power of what not only my station could do, what I can do online where people are coming to me, but then actually hitting them smack dab in their face and in their email box. Next. Television schedule. This is the schedule that we kind of put together, and I hate to use the word schedule. It's more of a plan or a campaign or a solution that we've come back with you with. We didn't just take this information, shake it all up, and say, look, this is what we're going to do. We didn't grab a package that was sitting there on the shelf and say, look, this fits you. We did the research. We took the time, and I had my whole team back at the office go over this. I have a research director. I have a wonderful media buyer that used to help buy for Peter Mayer, one of the largest agencies here in the New Orleans area that works with a lot of large companies. Her worth then was $140 an hour. So she's not cheap, but she's smart, she's great, and we're glad to have her. Also, my success manager helped me develop this and put this together. So you have a whole team of experts, as well as our digital department that is there, that we have 3 or 4 here on staff at all times that will be able to give you the expertise and the advice that you need to help us guide us through this process of reaching the folks that we're trying to reach through the digital process. So getting back to television, though, what we're planning on doing is running you just a Wednesday through Friday and Saturday, Sunday. So basically Wednesday through Friday. We're basically condensing you down. There was a man named Peter Drucker. He wrote a book. He was an economist. He said that concentration is the key to all economic success. So we don't need to be everywhere, Monday through Sunday, all the time on all programming. We need to, what we call in the business, flight it or tighten it up. Run you just Wednesday through Saturday during these specific programmings that are saturated with your audience, and it'll look and assume that you're there all the time. We may even run you just 2 weeks out of the month because people aren't sitting around going, damn, where's that BC Kitchen ad, right? So it is going to be the appearance, though, that you're everywhere, even though you're in small doses and concentrated, and it's going to be more of an impact, so we're going to use your dollars and stretch them the farthest. Once you go through the first 3 months of this campaign, you're going to reach 60% of the audience that we're trying to reach. I think it's 35-64, adults 35-64 that we're trying to reach. Those 60% of that audience here in our designated market area, that's a new term, DMA. Every market has it here, from here, Biloxi, Baton Rouge. It basically means all the people that are able to catch our signal. Of those folks that are there between 35 to 64 that are watching my station and watching these programs, 60% of them will see your commercial 3 times. After 6 months, 80% of those folks are going to see it 5 times. The wonderful magic of what we do with television is almost like compounded interest. You put your money into the bank, and it just generates more and more. Once you get to a year, you're going to reach 86% of that audience that is possibly in the market to purchase your goods, product, and service, and we're going to hit them 10 times over that time period. You're going to see that ad 10 times. Now, when I was in college, you used to have to see an ad maybe 4, 5, 6 times, they said, to really generate, and resonate in people's minds. Nowadays, that number is expedited to 7, 11, 12 times that you have to see an ad, because we're bombarded with messages all the time. So what we're doing is we're putting you in concentrated time periods, concentrated areas where your audience is at. We're throwing the bait in where the fish are hopefully biting, and we're going to hit them over and over again, up to 10 times over a year period of time. What we decided to do is bring you a real plan. I know I said campaign and schedule earlier, but this is a real solid, thought-out process campaign that is a plan to get you to where you need to be. We're going to start you in July with the email campaign, as well as doing the core here and here for digital. Oh wait, this is yes, this is the digital portion, and this is the email campaign. So that first month is $4,700. The next month of August, we're going to still, in your peak time, keep you at around the $6,000 to $5,000 level, leveling off around January or February when your business kind of dips down a little bit. We're going to do $1,500 a month of retargeted ads on digital. We're going to do the core that's on our website where people are coming to, and television. It's basically all the areas that people come to us and come through our door to visit us, as well as we're going to be going out and reaching them and finding the folks that are actually searching for your goods, products, and service. We're going to follow that up with another email campaign in April when you start back up, when the tax season is as well, and you start back up to your busy season, and they'll continue to flow like this. So it's basically an overall annual plan to help you get to where you need to be so we can reach that audience. I said 86% of that audience going to see the ad 10 times. Here's the schedule. We're going to do the creation of all your digital ads. We're going to do a monthly digital plan. We're going to extend the core campaign. The core targeting is basically our core site, like all of our products, the apps, and our page, our Fox 8 page, and then the email targeted list that we talked about. What this will do for you will generate 5.2 million impressions for the audience that lives in this designated market area that we talked about, age 35 to 64. So it's 12 months, 62,340. Is there any other slides? Is there any other questions? Is there anything that we need to do to help you realize and want to do this and endorse this campaign and this plan? Go ahead and poke holes in it. Go ahead and think about it, but make a decision. That's it.